Good afternoon and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Doomsday campaign, episode 2. I'm your DM and host, Marty, joined by Adam. How's it going, Adam? I think your mic was unmuted the entire time. It was a hot...
I was just politely not saying anything.
I noticed
because I'm the only one here, so I'd be talking to myself, just you hear me munching away. Nom, nom.
Right. How's it going? We were just chatting with Demon Lord and Iota in chat. There are some badges. I'm not an artist, but I managed to figure out how to get some different colored little dragon head badges for the subs. Recently, Twitch allowed sub badges for affiliates. So cool. There should be some little dragons beside. I see a little purple
dragon thing.
The elusive purple dragon is what you get with a 1-year subscription, and I kind of tried to keep to the chromatic dragons, and I need to fix the color blue that I used because it doesn't show up too well on dark theme, and there's a bunch of little things. But you've got sub badges now, for better or worse, little dragon heads, because this is Die Dragon Die. Not that I want to. Am I telling you? Never mind. Anyways, how's it going, Adam?
It's all right. I'm just beat up. I'm eating. I destroyed a plate of chicken. I got apples. I got vegetables. I got Sprite Zero, Coke Zero, and some emergency monster upstairs. I think I'm ready for game.
Cool. Yeah, for me it was just a relaxing Saturday morning. I was watching a show called Colony, where aliens came.
Really good.
It's actually not too bad. Like it's kept my attention enough that I could like do a little bit of D&D work while watching it. Yeah, randomly you got a little green dragon. I think the green is the lowest tier, and it goes green, blue, red, and then the elusive purple dragon. Kind of use the Twitch purple colors for that. That is the extent of my my artistry. I will have to hire an artist to do better. All right, so if you know any that want to make tiny pixel drawings,
do you know what the resolution is of those things off the top of your head, or?
There are 3 resolutions. Yeah, I know. There are 3 resolutions for the badges, depending on what thing you're at. Okay, why don't we do a recap of what we've done so far in this campaign? This is our...
We fucked up character creation.
We fucked up character creation. We made some mistakes. So some of those mistakes we made was... I misinterpreted a table that describes the primary ability score for your class and the secondary ability scores. Well, that secondary ability score column apparently is just fluff. The description is actually, if you read the fine print, it says, these ability scores are important to your class. It's not. You get another +2, so I gave away an additional +2 to ability scores that my player shouldn't have. Given that we've done this 5 times now, and it would feel really assy to take away those things, I think that is now our first official house rule, is you get the Marty +2 to an ability score based off of your class. Oh well.
Class ability score bonus.
Oh well. Another thing that we screwed up during our first couple of games, and we're going to fuck up a lot because we're trying to learn. We tried to learn. We were trying to learn this as we're playing, so that we could show you, I don't know, our growing pains, and you can laugh at us while we're learning how to read. Dropping is a free action, but it can only be done during certain times in your turn. So we'll dive into that if there's a drop action. And there were a few other things that I came across where we're like,
flat-footed is like the negative condition, so things don't stack. So like when you fall down and you're flanked, that's both the same condition. What also means if you fall down, they get to sneak attack you.
Yeah, if you're prone,
don't fall down.
So rogue wolves are going to be a problem. So we played 3 little mini sessions so far. The first session was called Here Kitty Kitty. The Grizzak is on the run from a pack of wolves after a botched attempt to befriend them. He takes a fall before facing off with the pack's beta. The Grizzak finds an ancient barbarian cairn, which provides sanctuary from the angry wolves, but only if he could defeat the restless dead that dwells there. The second session was called The Dwarf Hole. The sisters Zira and Ziva, along with the indentured criminal the Grinthark, I guess we don't need the in front of Grinthark, but the indentured criminal Grinthark and their hired guard Renee set out from the village of Copper Creek to the remote town of Belheim. En route, they spot a dwarf being chased by a pack of wolves and rush to help. The next session, which is where we started to get into the more Marty weirdness, the stuff that people were calling out on stream and my players saying, I don't think that's part of a module. We called this session I See Dead People. The Grizak joins the caravan headed towards Belheim. At the windy roadside inn, built from an old windmill, the party encounters the unfortunate victim of a ghoulish arrow. Renee suffers a horrible wound and is struck by a ghoul fever. With one foot in the grave, Renee begins to see spirits and speaks to the geist of a hanged elf, who speaks of the Crusader's star, the living being blinded by the light, and something hidden behind the moon. The caravan reaches Belheim. Their first night's stay at the Wise Pipe Inn is interrupted by the violent collapse of the Witch Tower. The adventurers rush to investigate, and they manage to find their way into the Witch Tower. They discovered first that there were a couple of kobold bodies amongst the rubble. They broke into the basement of the Witch Tower, which sort of looked like a ruin. Renee had a good look at it while he was sort of outside having a smoke, or drinking his beer, watching Grizak trying to pet the unicorns, I mean mules, and worst druid ever, by the way. You managed to break into the basement after the tower partially kind of collapsed. It looked like it sunk into the ground a little bit. And in the basement, you found effectively a very large complex that was like a dungeon, almost. Not like a dungeon in Dungeons & Dragons, but more like a dungeon where prisoners were kept. And Renee had a conversation briefly with some sort of haunting spirit in the room that we left off in that looked like some sort of torture chamber. Renee got the sense that the spirit perhaps died of starvation.
Yeah.
Grizak, with the collapse of the tower, a lot of the secret doors kind of were disturbed a little bit and might be a little bit easier to find. Grizak had whipped open this long corridor, or this secret door to a long corridor, at the end of which there's this little sparking creature that is some sort of elemental made out of air, perhaps lightning, before a large winching mechanism with a chain that leads out to this curious-looking piping that runs along the side of the surface of the chambers. I'm going to switch to the map where the dungeon where they're at, and I think we basically left off. Thanks for the host. I think that was Demon Lord. Yeah, I think we left off right in the dungeon of the collapsed tower. So they've explored a little bit of it so far. Let's make sure that this is centered. This is where Renee saw the haunt. Grizak opened up a secret door. Pet peeve with map designers, however, is if you're going to give a map that is nice and pretty, but mark with big S's where all the secret doors are, also give me a map that I could share with the players. Because the DM having the pretty map and the players not being able to look at it is fucking stupid. Like, this is a pet peeve of mine. The map, and they do this in a couple of products where they kind of learned how the maps are used, but this one product I don't think has both.
One pretty one and then a smaller one with all the things.
You know, I guess I could in PDF try to pull the image out without the text. That might work, but yeah. Anyways, all right. So there's a long corridor. It's rather thin. A medium creature could stand basically in the corridor, but there's no side by side in that entryway. The weird winching mechanism seems to be guarded by a creature that is not quite sitting. It is quite a kind of hovering off the floor, and it's sparking with some electricity. Some of the sparks goes into the chain that is in the winching mechanism and sort of launches up the chain.
Who's a pretty birdie?
Oh, hey there, Sparky. How you doing? Says Grizak as he wanders forward. Apparently, this thing doesn't really recognize Grizak as a storm priest, or at least not yet. Oh, I made a new friend, says Grizak. And I think
I don't know that is a friend yet. Normally, I mean, what is it?
I'm not sure, but it looks like it's made of lightning. "Oh, it's coming over to say hello," says Grizak. I think I'm gonna roll initiative, and I need to. This is one of the things where this creature is not in the bestiary, so I'm gonna do my best.
Your best to do a thing.
That was awful.
Have fun.
It's fucking awful.
Might I recommend air elemental?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Pathfinder version of the creature, and then something very similar. Oh, isn't he cute? I'm gonna call you Sparky, cause that's your name. Initiative.
Don't know that his name is Sparky.
Well, I'm just gonna call it Sparky because that's what Grizak's calling it. Alright, what did Zira get? I guess you're just rolling for everyone. So
9.
9, 0 plus 5, so 14. Grizak. Grizak's the next one. 12. Plus 3 is 15. Oh, that was, sorry, Grinthark. Yeah, anyway, same initiative. Grizak's got a plus 5. Oh, because
20.
Because
It's wisdom based now.
wisdom based, yep. Ziva?
19.
Give me a second.
What a ringtone. That is the ringtone of a real man.
Okay, I'm on Harvard. I'll meet you outside.
Ready to arm.
So, if you're looking for automatic gain on your microphone, he's got a microphone with automatic gain. So it's cranking the volume up, trying to understand what's going on. As Marty picks up his pizza. His pre-game pizza. What's a mid-game pizza? Professionalism is everything. Sounds violent. So Marty, the automatic gain on your microphone went way up as it tried to follow your voice as you went to the door.
Oh, that suck? That sucked.
Oh yeah, it did kind of sound like you were getting murdered. I mean, the door things slamming. And
No, I sorry about that. I had ordered food and it was super late. So, what do we roll? Okay, Grizak was 20 plus 5.
Yep. Ziva got a 19.
Plus 3, so 22. Renee,
Got a 5.
7. And then Sparky.
Wisdom base now. Remember, wisdom base.
Yeah, let me reorder that. So, these two are going to go here. I'll eventually create a spreadsheet. The OneNote, the notepad for now is just fine. Because it doesn't matter about the initiative modifier anymore. If the enemies win, if the enemies tie, they go first. And if two PCs tie, the players decide who goes first, which is weird. Alright, so that's initiative. Grizak doesn't quite realize or isn't too worried about the creature, so he's just not doing anything. He's talking to it. Hey, come here, buddy!
He's going to wild empathy it.
Come here, buddy! Come on! Look at that key here! That's right, Sparky, come over here! Come get some love! I'm gonna let Grizak make a charisma check. Grizak? That's Grinthark. The Grizak.
Grizak's charisma is poor.
8.
But he gets to add his character class to that
Why?
because that's how checks work now.
Oh, right.
19.
All right, so the thing is coming towards him.
There you go. Come to Papa Grizak.
All right, Ziva.
Well, it's yours, Ziva.
Yeah, Ziva's not too sure about this.
You take a look at it and roll a knowledge check.
She's gonna come in and have a look at it. I don't know if she's got the skills for this though. Untrained, I guess is.
I don't know. I don't even know what the skill is for this right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think it's Arcana or Nature.
Cool. Ahmed in the stream. Fix your brain, Ahmed.
Some sort of elemental? It might be bound here, Grizak. Yeah, he's cute! Come on, you can be bound to me! She's not...
Does it work that way?
I don't know. It's coming over here.
Use the extra action to cast a shield spell just for...
Yeah, sure. She moves in and she casts a shield spell. The little thing just floats up to Grizak and is going to try to spark him. He's like, it's coming over! It turns around. There's a massive arc of lightning that is coming out of it and kind of zotting Grizak on his chest. It does have to hit with this. AC 19. This is not a touch AC. This is normal AC.
This is normal AC. Well, let's calculate the Grizak's AC. What does a Grizak have? He's got Woody the shield and Hide medium armor. So 3 Dex level training item. 3. So his normal AC is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 15.
And he doesn't have any resistance to electricity or anything like that?
Let's see what he has. He gets Order of the Storm, Anathema, Wild Empathy, Stormborn. You can just fight in bad weather. Nope.
Okay, so he definitely gets shocked. He kind of got thumped a little bit, but there was definitely an electric charge, which blasted him back from that for 3 damage total.
Merde.
Grinthark is going to move in. He's going to take. No, he's going to throw one of his daggers at the creature. Now I know that there is
soft cover.
There is a soft cover issue here.
Let's learn about soft cover.
Yeah.
Time to learn about the reading rainbow. Something, something. Education.
I think it's cover and screening. So I think he is screened. If another creature is between you, the target that is screened gets a +1 bonus to AC. Okay, so he's going to throw a dagger, and the creature's got a +1 to its AC. He rolls a 13 and adds quite a bit. His dagger is +5, which is 18. The creature has an AC of 17. With the screening, it becomes 18. So he hit right on. Let me check this thing's immunities. Okay, the dagger does do damage. I do have to look up Finesse Striker, because I need to know if that is precision damage or not. This is from Rogue.
Finesse striker.
Yep, where he gets to add his dex to damage. Yep. I just want to make sure that it doesn't say that it's finesse.
It does not say anything about it being precision. A finesse one-handed or agile weapon, you can add your dex modifier to damage it instead of your strength.
Cool.
No other words.
All right. It just felt like it could have been precision. So he does 1d6 plus 4 damage from a dagger strike. He tosses one of his daggers, 9 damage into the a little sparking elemental. It definitely does something. The dagger goes clanging off of it. There's a bunch of trail of sparks that come out of it that look like the sparks were like blood. And that was he will then take cover. He'll use the cover that is the.
So is that like a single action to use cover?
It is to take cover.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what is that, like better AC bonus?
Yeah, you don't get the full cover bonus unless you actually use an action to take cover, and that is under actions. And I can, because it's the first time we've done this. Take cover. You press yourself against a wall or duck behind an obstacle. It is a single action. If you would gain the +2 circumstance bonus to AC and reflex saves due to cover, you instead gain the +4 circumstance bonus to AC and reflex saves from the cover while you are taking cover. This lasts until you move from your current space, use the attack action, become unconscious, or end this effect as a free action triggered by the start or end of your turn. So he basically he went into the doorway, threw his dagger, and now he's backed away, and he's trying to like use the door frame as cover. Zira is next.
The
creature was.
Zach, I don't think it's nice. You should you should back up. She's gonna.
The creature was badly injured by the dagger going through it.
And she will cast a shield spell as a single action. And then I think that's... Does she... Wait a second, what's her range weapon? I think she has a sling. She will draw... actually, she will stow her holy symbol. Wow, I guess this turn she'll draw the sling. So she has a sling and a holy symbol.
Don't kill it! It's my friend! Renee?
Don't worry, we'll just give it a little tap-a-tap. Renee is going to move up and ready a attack against the lightning elemental, which is a move in the an action in the double action, or like a 2-round activity, or that double action activity.
What weapon are you using as you're ready?
The long sword of double tapping, of light tapping.
Okay, the Grizzak's going to try to punch the lightning elemental for non-lethal damage,
which is by default, I think, with a punch.
I think so.
But it's a -2 because he doesn't know how to punch.
Does he not have?
No, I don't think he's got proficiency in unarmed strike. Let's just check. Because it's Ahmed. Ahmed might have just went like, you know what? I want proficiency in punching.
I thought everyone had proficiency in unarmed strike. No.
Here.
Unarmed strike, unarmed attacks, 178 or 183. 178. You can strike with your fist or another body part, calculating your attack and damage rolls the same way you would with a weapon. This counts as a simple weapon, so almost all characters start out trained in unarmed attacks.
Oh, never mind then. As a simple weapon, sure. So, yes. Well, actually, our druid's trained in simple. Or do they have weird?
I
Let's
believe
check.
so.
Trained in armor, weapons. He's trained in simple. Okay.
All right, and then his unarmed attack, I think, does a D4 bludgeoning. It is considered brawling, agile, finesse, non-lethal, and unarmed.
AC 9.
No, that's a miss. Yeah, come here. he's trying to grab it. So that was his first attack.
I'll try again. AC 7.
It's floating around, trying to get away from him, sparking him a little bit. I'll get you.
He missed.
Okay.
Now, is he moving out of the way for the third, or is he standing in front?
He's standing in front because he doesn't want anyone to kill it. Hey, he's my buddy. Don't let him die.
You're a very frustrating little man.
All right, Ziva. I don't think that thing is friendly.
What are you talking about? Look at that little guy. Look at that, put him down.
It's like flying around, zapping Grizak. That tickles. Ziva's just gonna delay. Sparky. Well, Sparky's all agitated.
Does delay act the way I think it would? Is delay a thing even?
Think delay is a thing. Actions. Delay. You bide your time, waiting for the right moment to act. The rest of your turn doesn't happen yet. The rest of your turn doesn't happen yet. That's interesting.
Is it an action?
The trigger is your turn begins. Oh, okay. All right. You return to the initiative order as a free action triggered by the end of another creature's turn. This permanently changes your initiative to the new position. If you delay the entire round, without returning the initiative order, the actions from your delayed turn are lost. Your initiative doesn't change, and your next turn occurs original position.
Okay, so it works just kind of like how you think it would.
Sparky. Sparky's gonna zap Grizak because it doesn't know. It doesn't know any better. Oh, it definitely hits Grizak. For 1d4 plus 1d3. Or was it 1d2?
It was 1d2.
Fuck! For 4 damage.
I'm really bad at this. Hey, Sparky.
Love hurts! Love hurts!
First attack.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not okay, man. Do you want me to put it down or not? I think Grinthark's gonna delay.
That was one action from the elemental.
Oh yeah, it's gonna just keep on walloping Grizak.
Because like 4 creatures are known for stopping.
No, it missed the other 2 times, so it's lashing out at him with these little sort of electrical arcs. Grizak's hair is standing all on end, his beard's all frizzled. Grinthark's gonna delay Zira.
Zira's going to stow her holy symbol.
Okay.
And ready a sling bullet at the lightning elemental if she thinks Grizak is going to fall down.
Okay, Renee.
Is gonna... Can I squeeze... Is this a place where I could be, or is this...
I don't know if squeezing is a thing. It's like half the square is available. So let's just look up to see if squeeze is a thing. Squeeze, acrobatics, 145.
Ah. Vorpal is the thing that just popped up.
That's squeezing in a tight space. That's not necessarily standing in a...
Movement.
You know what? It kind of looks like you should be able to stand there. I think the thing is going to have cover from you, though.
All right. Well, we're gonna 5-foot step into that space.
Yep, that's one action.
Yeah, I will sheath my sword.
It's another action.
And we'll punch the stupid thing.
Okay. You take a swipe at it. It is not taking cover, so its AC only goes up by 2, which is still significant, though. The little thing's darting around, shocking Grizak. Its AC is
Right. So
19.
Ooh. Nope. Didn't grip the fumble, but nope.
You feel the hair is kind of standing up on your arm as you're swiping towards it. All right, that was Renee. Grizak. I got it.
All right, Grizak will resume the punching.
Yeah, he's trying to like slap it between the two hands like a bug.
AC 16.
He failed by 1.
Let me just check to see if Zira has any
of her little
if
luck
she-
powers left.
Will she luck this thing to make this encounter stop? Because it should have stopped by now.
Because that's making it difficult.
Yeah, so that's her second bit of luck for the day.
Okay,
Because
that
she's
means Grizak hit for
Yep.
1d4 plus 2 non-lethal damage.
3 non-lethal.
Okay, the creature is at now 0 hit points. I believe. Let me check.
What happened?
12? 9? Yeah, exactly. So it's at 0 hit points. Instead of starting the whole dying shenanigans, it is now unconscious. I think it gets a save to not be unconscious, though. Give me a second. Dying is what we need to look at. Death and dying.
Dearth and during.
296 is the page. There's this whole set of death saves that you need to kind of go through. When you're reduced to 0 hit points, you get knocked out. When this happens, you are subject to the following effects. You fall unconscious. You may move your initiative position to directly before the creature or effect that reduced you to hit 0 hit points.
I'm confused.
So its initiative moves before Grizak's.
Okay. Oh, so when it wakes up on a different turn.
If the attack was lethal, you gain dying condition 1. If you already had the dying condition, increase your dying condition by 1. If the attack was a critical hit, you gain the dying condition 2. If the attack was non-lethal, you do not gain the dying condition or increase your dying condition. You return to 1 hit point, though you remain unconscious.
I'm confused. This is not a new thing, but I am confused. What happens if you get punched a lot with non-lethal and then somebody hits you with the sword for like the last 2 hit points? I think I just heard you get dying condition.
Yep.
That makes boxing really dangerous.
Because somebody goes and shivs you while you're all like rope and
Well,
doping.
it shits you. You stub your toe for one lethal damage and you die. Like, your heart
No, you gain the dying condition. There's this whole like elaborate stages of dying. So it's unconscious. Taking damage while you're already unconscious apply the same effects as if you've been knocked out by that damage. There is a recovery save though.
Okay.
When you're unconscious at the start of each of your turn, you can attempt a special fortitude save to regain consciousness. It's called a recovery save.
Oh, that's gonna make fights really brutal. Does this mean there's a lot of like hitting each other in the head with bricks and stuff when they're down?
Now, normally it says the DM is only supposed to do this for special encounters and not every monster.
Otherwise, the players have to be like immoral monsters just to not die. Huh. Morality.
And the DC is the DC of the attack that it came from. So the higher level you are, your class DC determines this saving throw.
Mm-hmm. So when you knock out the dragon's like, ask me this. I'm like,
yep. If you're at 0 hit points, you can return to 1 hit points. Your dying value increases by 1. Your dying value increases by 2 on a critical.
On a critical fail.
Yeah.
No critical fail.
If you're at 1 or more hit points, you become conscious, and you can take your turn normally. Although you lose 1 action this turn, you still have the dying condition. What's not clear is what happens when you're unconscious. Do you still get this? You may attempt a recovery saving throw. See the previous page at the start of each of your turns. Wow! So getting knocked out, you're fucking awake. You could be awake the next turn. Okay, so I got him, says Grizak. Ziva, what's she doing? Nothing. I don't think she's doing anything. What are you gonna do with the creature? I got it. Don't worry. So Grizak punched it on his first one, so I guess as an action he picked it up. Oh, yeah, it's a little shocky, but. And then he'll move over to the table with the creature.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know, man. It's kind of strange. What is it? It's Sparky. We gotta find some place to put him in. Something safe.
There is the big maiden. As long as you don't put the spike in, it should hold it.
Yeah, we can put him in there. Or one of the chamber pots, and we can keep it upside down. Anyone have a backpack?
Renee and Zira are both like, I guess, and Ziva are all like, no. They do. You can hold up to 4 1-weight items in a backpack. What is a corpse weigh?
It is a small creature. It probably weighs.
How many gnomes can you stick in a backpack?
It probably weighs 4 bulk.
Mine's full already.
So is mine, Ziva. Not it. Alright, why don't we just go get one of the chamber pots? Ziva. Not it. Grinthar chuckles at that. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I think I saw a chamber pot in here, man. He double moves.
Renee's gonna start moving towards the chain.
Yep.
To see what the heck.
He double moves into a room, picks up a chamber pot. Zira, what's Zira doing?
Is inspecting the thing to see if it's okay. Is it alive?
It's still got kind of like this weird little thrumming heartbeat of an electrical pulse. The creature looks like it's a floating orb with these weird, like, growing and subtracting membranes that are electricity. It's strangely fluid for what looks like a crystalline life form. Grizak's like blowing on it, like he blows a little bit and kind of like it responds a little bit with electricity. His beard's going all crazy. Your hair kind of standing up if you put your hands on the table. I like him.
She'll cast Stabilize on it?
Okay, what is Stabilize?
Wait a sec. Wait. Let's see what it does first, because if this wakes it up, then we won't do it. Ah, shit. Because I seem to remember it doesn't do what I think it does. I seem to remember. A single touch shuts death's door. A target goes from 0 hit points to 1 hit point.
Okay, it's already at 1 hit point. It is unconscious with 1 hit point.
Oh, okay. Alright, so it's... Oh, so the unconscious and the hit points are not actually connected. There's a... like.
Yeah, you dropped it below 0, but you did non-lethal to drop it below 0, so you automatically return to 1 hit point and you're unconscious until you make a wake the fuck up check.
Okay.
And the wake the fuck up check is not like hours per, like it's like it's waking up soon. You gotta figure out something to do with the creature before it wakes up.
Which is actually pretty. That's actually pretty, like, it's a much more realistic version of being knocked out.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, you're not gonna spend hours unconscious on it.
It's a few seconds. It's, you know. All right.
Renee wanders into a room. The room is very dusty. There's kind of like an old can full of grease. There's a large, like, winching mechanism with a lever. There's a chain that is kind of like along a spool, and the chain goes up into the ceiling and then through that piping that perhaps you saw outside. The chain looks old, but everything looks like it's intact.
I will take. Everything looks intact.
Yep. You do see a notch. A notch near the lever, like somebody marked like where to pull it, and it is in a unmarked notch. And the marked notch where you think the thing pulls to, it says bridge in common. Just somebody put like wrote along the brick in like
just like your fuse box, or somebody writes like kitchen.
It just says bridge.
I think there's a bridge in here somewhere. The lever here says so.
Some of the metal shows signs, and you're a blacksmith, that perhaps the shocking creature's been shocking the metal for a long time. You do see a lot of it's blackened.
If that little thing eats metal, I will be very displeased with you.
No, he's cute, Sparky. Sparky.
So what I do need is Grizak's class DC now. Which
class
would be
DC is 16.
16. Is it his class DC, or is it the DC of the thing that he was doing?
I think it's class DC, but because I think everything's a class DC.
The DC equals the DC of the spell or the ability that dropped you.
Oh, so it was a punch, so it would have been DC 13?
So he had a +3 to hit, so it's a DC 13? Yep. Okay. +2.
Oh.
No, it doesn't wake up this turn. Alright, so then Grizak is basically now holding it down, like he's like kind of just pushing on it. His hair is basically starting to like float up.
Stow the sling and pull out the holy symbol.
Ziva's like, Grinthar, come on! I don't know, man, it's kind of gross.
Cast shield.
Grinthar comes over, and hey, Almond, how's it going? How you feeling?
Hey, lads.
Grinthar comes over and plops the metal chamber pot. Well, I see what it's made out of. 1, it's wood. 2, it's like a porcelain or like a pot, kind of like clay. 3, it's metal. Oh, it's porcelain. It's like clay pot. Bloop. This old clay pot gets put over top of the lightning elemental.
You guys are still fighting the elemental?
Well, somebody was insisting on taking it alive for some unknown reason.
Who's a stupid bastard? Oh.
He named it already. And while it was trying to kill Grizak refused to let other people try to kill it.
No, he's just misunderstood. Get in the chamber pot.
Okay, we'll say that now you've got it basically in a position where you could take it out of this place. You do need to find a lid for the chamber pot, though.
Well, his name is Shitty. Is that his name, or did you give him a name already?
Sparky.
Oh. Nickname is Shitty.
You what is Renee doing? Like, basically, you've collected yourself in this strange room where Renee thought he heard some sort of apparition. Are you pulling the liver or not?
Liver?
No, not until he sees the like. He would like to know when it's activating. There's a family of small children tied up under the mechanism. Ooh, like he would like to check first.
Got it. Okay. Your companions seem to be really concerned with this little elemental. There are straps and things in the room for keeping people onto the table.
We can strap it to the table.
Well, you've got it in, like, there's an upside down chamber pot. Now you need to find something to, if you want to keep it in the chamber pot.
I'm still joining the chat. So.
Maybe your shield will make a nice cover.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ahmed. Go ahead. Do you want control of Grizak or not?
Give me a sec, sir.
Is my shit you're not using my shield for this?
I know, man. There's some wooden chair over there. We would just sort of tie out the chair. Something like that.
Yeah, you want to use your blocky, choppy thing and break some wood off and tie it to a lid. Make a lid so Sparky can have a little home.
Hey, Renee, man, want to come over here and pass me my dagger first and come over here and smash up this chair? You're like a crafter or something like that. Smith away.
He walks back, he picks up the friggin' dagger.
Hey, thanks, man. Here's the chair. I'm gonna go keep watch or something in the hallway. This is not blue at all, man. It's not good.
I'm here, and this is the thing I do. Protect the people. Now down here playing babysitter for little shit monster and his pet.
Yeah, give me
legs off.
Give me a craft check. You're gonna jury rig some sort of lid for this thing.
Some type of thing. Bullshit. 10.
It's just, you end up, you probably didn't do a very efficient job, but you managed to slide the wooden seat of a chair underneath it and take some of the straps and sort of wrap it up. This whole bundle now is
Be at least weight 5, if not weight 6.
bulk 6, and you can hear the thing moving around now. You can hear it like zzz, 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 making little buzzing noises and ding, ding, ding,
I think it's awake.
inside the pot. Yeah, it's awake with 1 hit point, but it is inside the chamber pot. Yeah, man, it's sparky, man. What are we gonna do with it, man? I don't know. We could just leave it here. Come back for it later.
You mean
What
like
does it
soon?
If you say metal, it's bullshit.
Yeah, probably it's metal.
God damn you, Pathfinder 2E.
Hold on, man. Give me a second here. See how much bonus I got. Oh, gotta open one note.
I think nature I have 4 or something.
It gets planes for this one? I don't know.
Oh, hold on, Sparky. Trying to get you some here.
So nature, I think. Well, I have.
I have no idea.
I have nature.
I actually have no idea how this
nature
the
and
dog skills work.
survival. Let me. Sorry, I have to open up the book.
Sure, give me a knowledge nature. knowledge nature also allows you to learn primal spells. Primal spells have a connection. Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with this.
16.
It is a baby elemental. You didn't know these existed. At first you thought it was an air elemental, but now you're pretty sure that this thing is made from, like, it is living lightning.
Already look at that shit. Sparky little. He's lightning. He's a little baby. Hey, baby Sparky. How you doing? Hey, looking cute. I can hear him.
Here's him trying to pull back a board. He's peeking in. There's like a zot, like. You're not immune to this stuff.
He's playing. I'm gonna
You're
feed him.
carrying the fucking thing. I am not carrying that shit.
Pet him and feed him and call him Sparky.
Oh, so what does Sparky eat?
You're not entirely sure. You know that this thing can fly pretty much like an air elemental. Like, it's really quick.
Cool.
What else did you know from your 16?
So it was trapped in this room?
Yes.
What's in this room?
There's a weird...
Grizak's looking around.
Okay, there's a big winch with a lever, like a winch of chain, kind of spooled up. There's some sort of contraption, and that has a big lever beside it. Renee's already gone in and looked at it while you were pacifying Sparky.
And there are sparks on the
Sparky looks like he's been lingering in this chamber for a long time. You can see scorch marks along the walls, along the chains, along the contraption.
Is there anything left out that would look like food? Something that was consumed, like, you know what I mean, like a bowl.
There was a bucket of grease and a bunch of shock marks on the metal.
Do I know anything about what kind of healing it gets?
You have an idea that elementals are very hardy. Like, you're pretty sure that you can't... I'll give you one thing. You're pretty sure that you can't critical hit them.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
It's time to... let's see if he likes this.
Is there, like, any loose metal, like a fork or screws or anything?
Yeah, you guys are in a torture chamber. You're basically have captured Sparky on what looks like a large table that is used to hold people down. You've taken some of the straps so you could strap the bottom of the seat to the top of the chamber pot. So yeah, there are some screws and little implements that you can find.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, all right. Here, cleaning up some dirt.
He takes a small piece of metal and slides it in.
Okay, Sparky definitely lights that thing up. He hits the thing, the metal goes flying out of the area and crackles with energy, and then it hits the ground, and it's fine.
You still hungry?
I don't know if that's eating.
It makes this like little, almost like this electrical crackling sound.
What do elementals eat? Like, if it was an air elemental, what would it eat?
Ziva's going, Grinthar's going.
Linger by the door. I would assume an air elemental eats air.
That's a good point.
Did I shock it? Did I try to shock it at any point?
Nope.
You smacked it upside the head to prevent the heroes from killing it.
Renee ends up kicking open a couple of other cells that are unoccupied.
He draws his sword again because
Okay.
he sheathed it for the fist.
Can Grizak zap it with lightning? Or an electric arc?
Give me a second.
I assume I have that prepped. Is one of the things I prepped, like grease and cure light, and then
Yeah, the thing should be immune to electricity.
but it doesn't do. Otherwise, it would just zap itself to get hit points. So that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. But there was a bucket of metal that was like zapped and stuff like that. Not a metal bucket, but like a wooden bucket with like metal in it.
There was a bucket. No. There was a bucket of grease, and then there was a big mechanism that was zapped a bunch.
Bucket of grease. Was that zapped at all?
It wasn't on fire.
The bucket was not metal. It was like a wooden bucket filled with.
Was there grease on the table, or is it on the winch?
The,
As in,
the
like, a
mechanism was greased.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It had like a stick in it, you know, to like.
Yeah,
the grease stuff.
okay.
Hey, Sparky, it's time to go for a little walk. This is what we call a dungeon.
He's like showing it. He's like obviously can't see shit through the.
What is Grizak's encumbrance at right now?
5. He's at 4.
Yep, and what is?
No, my encumbrance is 7. My maximum is 12. Was it my encumbrance done wrong?
Well, let's take a look.
Before it was 5.
Those are your values. You're carrying 4 bulk and 1 light, and now you're carrying 9 bulk with Sparky in a big pot with a strange lid and a bunch of straps.
So my maximum is 12. I'm encumbered.
Yep, you're encumbered right now while you're carrying Sparky around.
But so what does that mean? What does encumbered mean? I'm still opening.
Encumbered means you take armor penalties. Like
Your
it's like wearing armor.
your speed decreases by 5 feet to a minimum of 5, and your armor check penalties are increased by 2.
Okay, so I'll put him down whenever there's combat, but I can carry him.
Yeah, Renee and Grinthark are kind of kicking these doors open. You get to the other side, and you see a long.
Was it an? Did I hear anything when I pulled him out of the room?
No, you still hear him kind of like tinking against, like he's like zapping inside, like kind of a strange crinkling electrical sound. He's still moving around in the pot.
What were you eating there, little buddy? I've never seen. You can't go wrong with poop. So I just.
Yes, you can go wrong with poops. Ziva's just kind of like hurries her step to catch up with the other people.
Yeah, get it. Them big snakes liked it.
She like holds her sister's hand. Why do we have him with us?
Them big snakes would have loved it. You just didn't know how to commune with them.
The oracles need to speak with him.
He called the he called the centipede snakes.
All right, there's a long hallway, Renee. You notice that these doors do not look like they are ajar. They are shut and firm. And you do notice that there's a slight bony hand kind of like out of this particular door. Like somebody died on the other side, grasping it through the food slot.
This place is very dirty. I don't really like it here.
Are they locked?
Yep. The first, like, you kind of try to give it a pull, and despite the ground shifting ever so slightly, these doors are locked. There is still the sliding thing. You could look inside without opening it up.
We'll slide the thing.
Okay. There is a suspicious-looking mound that is still in the bed. The blanket is pulled over it. It looks like somebody curled up in the fetal position. And a lot of water has gotten into the far end, which is kind of all that brown dirt. It smells a little funky in there. You're pretty sure that the cell was occupied, and it's like they were forgotten.
We'll slide the thing shut.
Okay.
Go to the next one.
Okay. In this cell, there is a skeletal kind of man still held together by a little bit of flesh. It's been gnawed on by rats that have gotten in through the kind of like the sliding food door. It does look like this person may have taken their own life. They've got a sharpened bit of metal, like they may have taken one of the spoons or knives or something and slit their own wrists, because you do see a lot of kind of like blood pooled all around them, old blood. This looks pretty old. I don't know if Renee's got any
Survival.
any sort of skills that
Actually-
allow him to see how old these deaths are.
Blacksmithing, lore smithing, acrobatics, athletics, and thievery.
Survival?
You get the sense that they happened long ago. I don't know, man. What's going on in here? Anything good in here, man? What are you doing? Any treasure in there?
Do not think there is treasure in there.
Detect magic from
Move
Grizak.
move to the next one, the one with the hand.
Okay.
Well, there wouldn't be.
You
any
notice the
magic in
hand go
here.
like this. It's the same voice from the other room. Grinthark walked right up to you and is standing beside you like the hand wasn't moving. You wait for a moment, look down at the hand, it's no longer moving.
Okay, we're gonna look in the room.
Okay, you can see someone, there is a body there, splayed out. One of their hands is through the door, the other one's just kind of crumpled up a little bit. Stringy hair is still stuck to the poorly clothed skeleton. Again, this looked like somebody was in there and was forgotten.
Hey, girls, I asked you this before, but I don't know if you remember now. How long has your aunt been, like, leader here?
20 years? 30? 30? 20? I don't know. A few decades.
Yeah, your aunt mighty fucked up.
We were still in school at the time, right?
Yes. I think
Few-
so.
20, 30 years, something like that. Of course, you're talking to elves. He's like 20, 30 years. How old is Renee? Is he in his 20s? Or
Yeah, Renee would be in his 20s.
he's like, either I was born or wasn't. Great.
Yep. How old is the witch?
Which where?
Wait.
Grizak's looking around.
Underneath the witch's tower.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
This place has been here for a long time. Long before that. I don't think a witch lives here anymore.
Well, maybe your aunt was witch.
Cyril will turn around to look at the Grizak.
He's
Well, yeah.
a chamber pot with a little thing inside.
Look at him, Higgin cat. They would probably run the family.
Ew. Ziva like skips by the bony hand of some unfortunate. It does look like
High five.
It just like goes over and slaps the hand. The bones scatter at that. It does look like they had been
My bad,
clawing at the
buddy.
ground, like they were trying to dig their way out.
We don't know what it is randomly. It's just being brought along for the ride.
They've got it captured. They knocked it out and got it captured in a clay chamber pot. They've basically scooped it up into there.
Yeah, Sparky. Sparky number 2, because his party's for number 2.
We'll take a look at this one.
Yes. You were hoping perhaps that there wasn't another scene. This one does look like the remains of somebody, but the food opening drawer looked like it was stuck, so it was always open, and rats have long since eaten a lot of the man inside of this spot. Much like the other one, maybe there's a little bit more space underneath. Maybe some of the big rats got in. And this creature's bones, probably human, have been scattered throughout the room. You could see this half skull just kind of awkwardly looking up at you. It didn't move, like it was just waiting in that position. Doesn't look like they were like their clothing has long since turned to tattered rags. Didn't look like they fared very well in their final days.
Okay.
But definitely 4 victims were left down here and forgotten. There is another side chamber. From this end, you can see it's a similar secret door than on the other side. Kind of symmetrical with the other entryway.
Okay, go push it open.
All right, you push it open. It reveals a hallway where you do see that strange tubing along the top of the along the ceiling. It just simply disappears into this wall. You're pretty sure the chain from the winching mechanism goes into that tubing. There's a long hallway that has a end, like a turn at the end, and then there's a similar cell. This one, it does not look like it was locked. It was almost like as if something happened here long ago. A bunch of people were freed, but these secret cells were never found.
Yeah, there was, in the Great Rebellion of like 30 years ago, or 25 years ago.
Yeah, you managed to push this place open. You find the rat nest, or a rat nest. Bunch of rats in here. You can step on them if you want. I'm not running that encounter.
I don't need to.
Right.
No.
They're scurrying about because of the...
Hold on, is there a chance you can get diseased? That's all I'm just saying. What the hell? Why not?
Just regular sewer rats.
So, as part of Adam's ADD, Rene apparently has Adam's ADD, and he's going to go around this corner to look at this one spot that hasn't been looked at yet, because obviously he's got a perfect mental map of what's going on around him.
Sure. So you go over into this corner.
I've got good spatial awareness. I know there's something over here I have not seen.
You do notice that there is a wooden holy symbol that is hung up on like a peg. Otherwise, it looks kind of like some of the other cells. Like somebody was allowed to have a holy symbol and was just left behind there. I rolled to see what alignment it was. It was chaotic good. And the holy symbol is that of cord. Well, you don't know this, but it is a...
Oh, that's code.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, where is he? I don't see anybody.
I don't even remember what cord symbol is. It is, his symbol looks like
arm.
2 crossed, no, it's really weird. It is that. If you can see it.
It's the staves from American Gladiator for the
Right.
jousting.
It's 2 crossed, like
Q-tips.
spear-like staves with 2 crossed, cudgels on top of a shield. But it's nicely carved. It might be worth something. It's just hanging on the wall, kind of like you would like a cross in a more modern.
Oh, we'll grab it.
Okay.
Marty, Grizak goes to Ziva.
Are you proud?
Proud of what?
Our baby.
Oh, you're disgusting.
Coochie, coochie, coo, zappy, zappy, spark.
She pushes her way by Grintark. You deal with him. I don't know, man.
Aren't you gonna breastfeed him?
Oh.
Oh, it's my turn, ain't it?
She's brought her light really far away. She's got the pebble with the light in it.
Mommy's coming. Hold on, buddy.
From now on, she's his mommy.
She's completely disgusted with Grizak.
What's happening?
What do
What
you?
did I do?
Oh, man, what do you think this place was? I don't know. Yes, it's kind of. There's a lot of cells.
It is a prison, hidden prison under town.
Well, why wouldn't it be under them, officials? Like, why is it so hidden? And why isn't a witch's tower? That's weird. Was the witch like the official here? Is that what happened? Or, I didn't. No one told me. I don't know. Grazak.
I don't know either. That we'll find the library, or maybe their aunt will know the story from before.
Library.
Elf are very old.
What's in the library?
Oh man, I just there was another tunnel around the back here, man. It's gonna go up this way.
Yeah, we should go to the next tunnel.
You mean a graveyard for trees?
Graveyard. Graveyard. Library is a graveyard for trees.
They look at you and they don't seem to appreciate your actual joke.
The best works are on vellum.
You're not Sparky? Maybe you can be a wizard. Listen to your mama. We need to figure out what the hell you eat. That's number one, I think. You can go poopy as freely. Because you're in a potty. Good boy.
There's like the potty thing that's a layered joke right there. That one.
I like the tree graveyard. it's just your companions. I've just in the last 5 minutes are kind of fed up with you. Grinthark is sneaking ahead with Ziva following behind with the light, and there is a sharp turn. And a very thick door, and I believe the door has an inscription on it.
Guys, moving way too fucking
Speak
fast.
friend and enter.
Nope, it's just a heavy door. It's just a heavy wooden door, iron reinforced, a big pull chain on it. And you just get this chilling feeling from the door.
Search it for traps.
Okay. Grinthark will go and have a look.
I don't know, man.
Oh man, it's not locked, but there's a keyhole, man.
Does it look like the key that we found?
No, he takes out the key, and the keyhole is much too big, but I don't think so, man.
Renee will try to open the door.
Okay. Give me a thieving check.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're using picks or something like that.
Well, first I'm going to see if the door's locked.
Oh yeah, the lock. You pull on the pull chain. The door is locked.
My mama didn't buy me a thieving kit. What about the Grinthark? Grintharks? Or did the priests take it away? The priests took it away.
You're weird.
Man, if I had my tools, man, the priest took it away. You're not supposed to steal.
All right.
Stealing is wrong. But the door here, man, it's a blue, man.
Grinthark's, what's your thieving at?
The thieving skill of the Renee, I think, is a +5.
Yeah, Grinthark's the same thing.
+4.
Do you want me to? He's got a +5. You want me to try?
Maybe I can help you.
Yeah, man. Might not be a bad thing. I think aids are depending on what the DM wants. So, DC 10 to aid him.
16.
All right. So you aid. Let me just look at thieving, which is probably not going to give me any DCs. It's probably going to
It's
send
gonna
me.
be like, what is your character level? That is how hard the lock is.
Yep.
When you believe you gotta get through me.
Pick a lock. Unlocking even the simplest mechanism almost always requires 3 or more successful checks to accomplish. Wow. If you lack the proper tools, the GM might allow you to use improvised picks, which are treated as poor quality tools, which I believe is a -1. I believe that could be a -2. He's going to use the existing keys, which are smaller, and the weird silvery daggers that he got that had the weird serrated edges on them. He's going to try to use those as tools. I'll allow those to be. So you need 3 successes, and the DC it's going to send me to this. The DC is 14. All right, and I think your aid only gives him a +1. You may want to check up aid as an action.
Aid.
Aid is the one that accepts skill checks. No, it's +2.
Okay.
So he's got a +5. He's got a +2 from you and a -1 from his tools.
Okay.
You hear click. What is it? It's going well, man. I don't know. It's almost.
Now, if you critical fumble, is that when it goes back or resets?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happens when you critical fumble
You
this
can
thing.
break your you have either no success or you undo 1, or you break your tools.
Is it break your tools? Or are you just thinking of like Skyrim?
No, it says here either you undo 1 success or you have already gained, or if you have no successes, you break your tools.
What a...
Critical failure, you either undo 1 success you have already gained, or
So
you have
it
no
is
successes,
like
you
a video
break your
game where you
tools.
need to have lots of picks on you because you're going to use them up. I don't know, man.
tools can be used while broken, but are treated as poor quality tools. They're already poor quality tools. Does that mean they just can't be used then?
Okay, that's a critical failure.
So it goes down 1. So the
Did
lock
it-
resets. The
Yeah.
lock just goes...
Yeah, he's like, oh man, that's kind of bad, man. Let's try that again. There we go, critical
That's
success.
2 successes.
Almost got it, man. Almost got it. Yeah,
No action.
no action. Then finally, clink, he gets
So,
it.
it's 1, 2, 3, 1 round, 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Sorry?
because those are each manipulate actions.
Yeah. So it took him 2 full rounds to open that lock.
Yeah, he was like,
12 seconds.
I got it, man.
He played the mini game for 12 seconds.
Yep.
So there was four actions.
It was 6 actions.
He then kicks the door open, and the room is not empty.
There's a bomb. Why is there a bomb? That's there's
There can be little doubt to what purpose this chamber once served. The dank room stores an ancient rack, a fanciful brazen bowl,
That's horrible.
an iron maiden, a cauldron, iron chairs with sharp edges and cruel protuberances, a wooden table upon which sits various implements of torture, a bronze plaque affixed to the western wall depicts a crow rooster above crossed spears. Underneath the spear is the short phrase inscribed, "Confession cleanses the soul, pain clarifies the mind." Snapping you from this grim scene is a single thing that is moving. It is a raven, and the raven talks to you in a high-pitched voice.
Greetings, fine citizens of our glorious kingdom. So good to have visitors, huh? Though I fear I have no refreshments to offer. I assume you're here for the treasure. Well,
Renee is looking to see if anybody else is reacting to the talking bird.
I think I'm going to give you all one action as you're slowly, like, some of the people have moved up. Grinthark's putting away his tools, but keeping one of the daggers, one of the silvery daggers in his hand.
Daggers.
Yeah. What's Renee doing? Because it's a long speech that he's got here.
This guy's got one of them monologues, one of those villain monologues. Renee is going to...
Renee does see that in one of the spiky chairs there is a woman. You can tell she's